The French Revolution changed Europe forever. It began in 1789 as centuries of oppression under an absolute monarchy reached a breaking point. The people, the so-called Third Estate, 98% of the population, rose up. They stormed the Bastille. They executed their king and queen. Inspired by Enlightenment ideals, the revolution abolished feudalism, expanded male suffrage, and brought the Catholic Church under state control. But the revolution wasn't a single movement. It was a storm of factions, ideals, violence, and change. And behind it all were the people who made history. These are 7 key figures of the French Revolution. Number 1, Emmanuel Joseph Size. A liberal clergyman, Size wrote a powerful pamphlet before the revolution. It was titled, "What is the Third Estate?" His argument? That the people of France, the 98%, should have real representation in government. That idea became the unofficial manifesto of the revolution. In 1799, Size was appointed director of the Republic, but he saw corruption everywhere. Later that year, he and his allies overthrew the Directory. They helped bring Napoleon Bonaparte to power in the famous coup of 18 Brumaire. Size, Bonaparte, and Roger Ducasse became consuls of the French Republic. And just like that, the revolution was over. Number 2, Marquis de Lafayette, a noble by birth, but a revolutionary by choice. Lafayette had already fought in the American Revolution. He returned to France as a hero and a champion of liberty. He helped write the Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen alongside Thomas Jefferson and Abbé Size. After the storming of the Bastille, Lafayette led the National Guard. But things turned dark. In 1791, the royal family tried to escape France. Some accused Lafayette of being involved. Later that year, National Guard troops opened fire on protesters. Lafayette's reputation never recovered. He opposed the growing Jacobin extremism. A warrant was issued for his arrest. He fled France, was captured by Austrian troops, and spent 5 years in prison. He only returned once Napoleon had taken power. Number 3, Jean-Paul Marat, the revolution's most radical voice. Marat was a journalist. His paper was called L'Ami du Peuple, the friend of the people. Marat attacked moderates and called for action. He championed the working class, the sans-culottes. As head of the Committee of Surveillance, he helped organize the September massacres. Over 1,200 people labeled suspects were killed. Marat also helped purge the moderate Girondins. But his life was cut short. He suffered from a painful skin condition and spent hours soaking in medicinal baths. In one of those baths, he was stabbed to death by Charlotte Corday, a Girondin sympathizer. His funeral became a national event. To many, he was a martyr of the revolution. Number 4, Jacques-Pierre Brisset. Brisset led the Girondins, the revolution's moderate faction. His followers were called Brissetins. They were businessmen, merchants, and professionals. Unlike the radical Montagnards, the Girondins supported a constitutional monarchy. When Louis XVI was arrested, Brisset opposed his execution. He even called for a national referendum. But when Austria and Prussia threatened France, Brisset pushed for war. The result? A disastrous campaign that weakened the revolutionaries. On June 2nd, 1793, armed citizens surrounded the convention. Brisset and his allies were arrested. In October, they were executed by guillotine. Number 5, Olympe de Gouges, a playwright, a revolutionary, and a fearless voice for women. Olympe de Gouges wrote the Declaration of the Rights of Woman and of the Female Citizen in 1791. She argued, if a woman can mount the scaffold, she should also be allowed to speak from the platform. She also spoke out against slavery and even offered to defend Louis XVI in his trial. That made her enemies on all sides. In 1793, she published a pamphlet advocating constitutional monarchy. That was considered treason. She was executed just days after the Girondins. Her death was used as a warning to other women. Stay silent. Number 6, Georges Danton, a charismatic leader, a powerful speaker, and a revolutionary who would be consumed by his own creation. Danton led the Cordeliers Club and served as Minister of Justice. He was also the first president of the Committee of Public Safety. In 1792, he gave a fiery speech that helped trigger the September massacres. But over time, Danton began to oppose the violence. He called for moderation. Robespierre saw that as betrayal. He accused Danton of corruption. On April 5, 1794, Danton was executed by guillotine. Number 7. Maximilien Robespierre, the revolution's most famous and feared leader. A lawyer, an orator, and the head of the radical Jacobins. Robespierre called for universal male suffrage, the end of slavery, and rights for the working class. In 1793, after the Girondins were removed, Robespierre led the Committee of Public Safety. Under his leadership, the Reign of Terror began. Around 40,000 people were executed. Fear and suspicion ruled the streets. But eventually, even Robespierre was seen as a threat. In July 1794, the revolution turned on him. He was arrested, and the next day, he was guillotined. The French Revolution was a storm of ideas, violence, and change. These 7 figures shaped that storm. Some were heroes, others villains. Many were both. Together, they helped bring an old world to its knees and give rise to a new one.